All right, let's bring in our powerhouse panel of the morning. The author of Words for Warriors, Sam Sorbo, political analyst Mark Halpern, National Advisory Board member of Project 21 and principal of Red Tail Strategies, Christopher Arps, and former acting director of U.S. National Intelligence, Rick Grenell, with me on the couch today. Okay, guys, good to see you, panel. Happy Monday to you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
All right, a little more enthusiasm, folks. This would be, we're trying to wake up America here. All right, so Senator Bernie Sanders, putting aside some of the squabbling plaguing the Democratic Party, predicting the two spending bills worth trillions of dollars is going to move forward, stressing that they're going to work in tandem, and they need to work in tandem. Take a listen.
We're going down this road in a dual way. Both bills have got to be linked together.
All right, Mark. Look, let's also set the table here. This is his bill. This is his agenda. It comes right out of this 110-page agenda that he wrote for the Biden campaign in 2020. You have this cadre of moderates, small cadre of moderates, the Democratic Socialists and the cultural Marxists. They're all fighting. What do you think happens this week?
Well, the progressives like Bernie Sanders are in a good mood because Joe Biden basically has cast their lot with them, suggesting that they're not going to pass the infrastructure bill until reconciliation is done. But now they fight over the top line number. And keep your eye on Senator Sinema. She put out a pretty tough statement over the weekend, but she didn't call for any action. She was chased into the bathroom by activists Sunday morning in Phoenix. And I would tell you that that is not the way to get Senator Sinema to do your bidding. So let's keep our eye on her and how she reacts to this latest siding of the president with the progressives.
Yeah, Christopher, I want to go to you on what Senator Sanders said and what President Biden has now said. We are going to link these two things together. Nancy Pelosi told the moderates, yeah, we're going to have a standalone vote on September 27th with respect to the infrastructure bill. She went back on her word there. How do you think that that this is going to impact negotiations?
Well, I think it's going to impact negotiations very much. I had Mark Halpern on my show last Saturday and last Friday, and he mentioned that a lot of the moderates are angry that they felt that Nancy Pelosi lied to them. These two bills cannot be linked together. Senators Manchin and Sinema have said that they will not accept a $3.5 trillion budget. Manchin has said the highest he will go will $1.5 million. I also think that the longer that this is delayed means that the more trouble that this bill has, and it will not pass in the form that they want it to be. Mm-hmm. This should have been passed last week if they wanted it to be successful. But the longer it goes, I just feel that it's going to be more difficult for them to pass anything meaningful that they want.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez looking like she's open to some compromise. This is her from one of the Sunday shows yesterday. Listen to this.
One of the ideas that's out there is fully fund what we can fully fund, but maybe instead of doing it for 10 years, you fully fund it for 5 years.
Sam, I want to go to you on this. Is this the Democrats playing the long game? I happen to think that that's what they do. I think they're going to get something done. Let's get something done, even though it's in a limited scope. And we kind of feel like we know the GOP is not going to have the courage to pull it back. Your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not sure why we're calling them Democrats. They're socialists, and we ought to fess up to that. Also, I just love the fact that they only talk about how to spend money that they don't have, by the way. And I think that we ought to be very careful with this. Just because they said 3.5, somehow we're saying, well, 1.5 is okay. We don't have the money. Where are they coming up with this money? That's just coming. They're pickpocketing the entire United States. And people should have more outrage about this because all they're trying to do is spend us into a kind of servitude and slavery, which is the socialist playbook.
Rick, I want to go to you. When allies and enemies see us spend so much time on domestic policy. I mean, we're looking at spending this 40 taxes, right? 40 new taxes and up to $5 trillion almost of spending right now on the table. What does that do in terms of our geostrategic position?
Well, what's really interesting is that every country has these domestic fights. And so they're looking to say, all right, we have similar fights. This is relatable, to be honest. One thing that I would say, I'd rather have us fighting domestically than trying to come up with a foreign policy that's going to be weak. We have a serious problem when it comes to national security and foreign policy. The more Congress and the more Joe Biden can spend fighting about domestic issues will just push us down the road, get us to next summer, hopefully next fall, and at least the Republicans have a fighting chance to take over the House or the Senate, limit the damage that the Biden administration is doing on the world stage.
But if you're China and Russia, are you looking at this and saying they're totally focused on this welfare expansion bill? They're not paying attention to what we're doing in Asia, in Africa, in other places around the world. Does it send a message that we've sort of disengaged when we're focused so much on massive domestic spending like this?
I mean, at this point, no. I would say it's okay. If we spent months really just talking about domestic policy and ignored foreign policy, then I think we're in danger of sending that message. But you have to remember that foreign countries are dealing with the State Department, they're dealing with the Pentagon on a daily basis. They're not really reading all of our media. And places like BBC or CNN International, for instance, they are still covering foreign policy.
Okay. Senator Dick Durbin saying there's so much to support here, the legislation can't possibly fail. Watch.
Every vote counts when it comes to getting to this majority. And concessions will be made, and we're certain of that. Thank goodness we have two other players who are really committed to this, with the president arriving in the House last week. That was historic. It shows he wasn't going to stand by the sidelines and issue tweets. He rolled up his sleeves and walked to Capitol Hill, traveled to Capitol Hill. And Nancy Pelosi. I mean, never underestimate Nancy Pelosi, because I saw her deliver the Affordable Care Act.
Hey, look, she put her entire majority on the line to pass Obamacare with bipartisan opposition. Mark, Durbin has a point, doesn't he? And also, we're not really hearing a lot out of the Republicans. Do you think, Mark, that it is smart for the GOP to sort of seem to kind of sit back and not very aggressively discuss with specificity how damaging these bills could possibly be to the economy, to businesses, and to individual families? Because I personally don't hear them doing that.
Well, it's a moving target now that the price is coming down, and so what exactly their critique is up in the air. But I hear them talking about it a lot, and they will continue. They're obviously bystanders in the negotiations, but in talking about the level of taxation and the impact it could have on business, and talking about inflation, and talking about entitlement programs that would be funded forever no matter what this bill says, I think you're going to hear Republicans talk about that and are unified in talking about that. There's no one in the McConnell wing or the Trump wing of the party who dissents from that being a big, important critique.
All right. Well, I think that they should be far more aggressive in the way that they're messaging this. Thank you to our panel. We're going to see you at the top of the hour. Now